Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the third episode now of Down with the Draft. Should take a sip before I even turn the mic on. Thank you for joining on the third week. We are able to watch 2 weeks of the preseason lock-in tournament now, and we've had a pretty good time so far. So for those who might be new to the stream or kind of just new in general to League of Legends or whatever, this is a stream about daily fantasy when it comes to League of Legends. And it's going to be really good for people who are either into League of Legends, into like DraftKings Daily Fantasy, but maybe wants to get more into the esports scene on that style of things, and anyone in between. So we cover LCS primarily, which is the North American League of Legends League, and they just wrapped up their groups round robin stage for the preseason lock-in tournament. This happens usually in a lot of other different regions. Hasn't been a thing in LCS yet, North America. It is this year. It's been really exciting. So we'll cover what happened the last day of the group stages, and we'll cover the first knockout round. So there's going to be 4 games in the knockout round last weekend. We'll have 2 semifinals this weekend, and then the finals coming on Sunday. So it's happening fast. And what's going to be interesting here is because it's only 1 game a day, we're going to cover everything still, but we're not going to do the same down with, down on, because it's hard to play a 1-game slate. There's really no way to get different. I don't think they'll probably be running a slate, honestly. But there's no way to get different. There's no way to like kind of make a good context selection, build that lineup. So we're going to go ahead and just kind of reflect back on what do we learn in preseason? What are things that we expected that did or didn't happen? What can we do differently next time? And I'm going to actually walk through what I do in building lineups because I realize talk about who we're down with and down on. We pair people up, but what does that mean, right? We do our 4-3 stacks, we do our 4-2-1s, but when do we do those? Why do we do those? How do we do those? So we'll talk through that a bit more. And I'm actually going to build a lineup for you guys tonight. Obviously not LCS, but we're going to build an LCK LPL league, which is the South Korean and Chinese region leagues. What they do is they play 2 games in each region, so they bundle them up together on DraftKings, and they have a 4-game slate. This happens most nights of the week. It's going to be very similar to how I build the LCS ones. So hopefully it kind of tells you, here's how I think about things. It'll show you the tools I use, the stats I look at. So I think this is going to be probably like the how the sausage is made. What I'm trying to say there. How the sausage is made, right? What am I thinking about? How do I do this? It helps you hopefully think more when you're building your lineups. Why am I doing what I'm doing here? Love waking up to catch the last game and get some tendies. It's the best, man. The last game started at 5 a.m. for the LCK LPL. And I'm an early bird. I have a child, so I'm forced to be an early bird. Broiler Tribe, I know you're usually up texting me at the same time, but it's great. It's nothing better than you wake up and you're like, oh man, the first 2 games went how I thought. Let's watch the ones that matter now. So without further ado, let's get into LCS, right? It was covered last week. Let's see what happened here. So we'll start off with the Friday last day of round robin. And I'm really happy about this one because we made some pretty bold calls last week and they worked. We hit. It was great. So day 1, game 1. Cloud9 versus Dignitas. Nothing unexpected happened there. Cloud9 won. The only thing I'd say is a little unexpected there is they didn't win in super dominating fashion. It was also a 20 kill to 2 kill kind of game. In fact, I think it was like 15-7, which, spoiler alert, this is what I was really heavy on. I was really overweight on 3 big games here. This is one of them because Dignitas has a very high volume of deaths per loss. Every time they lose a game, they're losing with a lot of deaths. We love that from a DFS standpoint, right? We want a Cloud9 because they're aggressive. Blabber pushes his leads to the max, and Dignitas historically, obviously small sample size this year, but historically, we're fighting a lot in their losses. So we love this lineup. It worked. We won. We got some money off this one, but we wanted more bloodshed, and it was kind of a bit more tame than we were hoping for. Plus side, Fudge looked better. He really did. He's starting to get the hang of things. Perks continues to be good, but not utilized as we want him to be the focal point of the team. The team's still running through Vulcan and Blabber and Sven by default because he's with Vulcan down there. Those 3 run the team. The kill participation is insane. Blabber and Perks, or sorry, not Blabber and Perks, Fudge and Perks are kind of lower on kill participation. I think it's just because they're still getting accustomed to the team, the synergy there. I think the teams will start running more through top and through mid once they get a bit better thing going. But right now, Vulcan's on top of his game. Him and Blabbird has been pushing crazy leads. Vulcan's been incredible. Next one, 100 Thieves and Golden Guardians. This other one that we were pretty overweight on. We liked 100 Thieves a lot. Not only because they're 100 Thieves and they're just a good team, but also because Golden Guardians is a new team. They're two people from Collegiate League, and typically Collegiate Leagues and Academy players are aggressive. They think they're stronger than they are. That's what happened, and 100 Thieves kind of rolled them. There was a lot of kills here, 20 plus kills, I believe. So this is where we actually ended up with some good tendies too. As Boy Travis says, we finished the cash in this one too. It was a pretty standard steamroll. Golden Guardians has a lot of potential. Niles can carry, clearly. They're trying to force a carry right now, and I don't know if it's working as well as it could. But I want to keep an eye out for him because he looked like he can carry these games. Iconic looks fantastic, like just really good, and he's someone who I want to watch as an up and coming player. But Niles is showing potential. I think he's trying to force a carry sometimes, and he's not willing to say, "Let me take a step back and play the smart champion," rather than playing the Quinn and saying, "I want to win this game." You don't have to. Just play the smart champion and win as a team. You don't have to be the carry here. The skills there, yeah, better decision making in the clutch. Absolutely. I mean, TSM and Golden Guardians was a great example of that, right? They had the win. I'm going to change this song really fast because it's a bit of a different vibe here. We're going with a nice chill vibe today. It's been a good chill day. Well, trying to bring the day down. It's been a very hectic day, actually. But Golden Guards had the lead there, and they blew it. This one, they never had the lead. They just tried to force the lead. It's like, you're going against a great top laner. Take the wins you can get and just be smart about it. So I have a lot of faith in Golden Guards to right the ship, but we'll see. The game we're waiting for. Who told you? I did. Who told you? FlyQuest. Evil Geniuses. I called it last week. Down with. Who was on it? FlyQuest was. You're goddamn right they were. I knew it. I had a feeling. My palms were itchy that morning. I had my arthritis kicking in. I felt it. I knew something was going to happen. But FlyQuest just had a great game. It wasn't just that Jose Dioto's back. And as a matter of fact, he kind of had a really bad level 1 invade. He went PvE style, said, I'm just going to farm as much as I possibly can, right? And the rest of the team just had a great game. Johnson looked really good. Palafox, or I always forget Palafox and Blaze Island. They're both new. Mid laner looked really good. I need to look that up. I can't do this. I can't be that guy. Let's look at my handy dandy spreadsheet we got here. I apologize for not knowing this. Palafox. It is Palafox. Palafox looked great. Licorice looked really good against Impact, right? And Impact has been so far really strong. You know what they did? Took away Renekton. That's the theme here. He had Renekton 3 times, and he went 3-0 with them. They took it away. They lose. We'll cover what happened in the group stages because maybe he got Renekton back. We'll see. But they took away Renekton. They had a great game. They really did have a fantastic game. Looked good in every facet. Diamond looks good. Palafox looks good. Licorice looks good. Jose Dioto really goes that PvE style. Is farm as much as humanly possible on Olaf, which I feel like you want to be fighting more with Olaf, but that's fine. And this looked great overall. Johnson had a great game too. Overall, really well played. They didn't. We won a lot of money because of FlyQuest, right? But we didn't finish first in anything because they again didn't have the bloodshed. Boy, try to put in the chat. Blood equals points equals money. Yes. Team Liquid, 100 Thieves killed a lot day 1. FlyQuest killed not a ton. The reason why we finished in the money was not because FlyQuest killed a ton. It's because we had FlyQuest and 40% of the field at Evil Geniuses. So the second they lost, 40% of lineups, get them out of there. We're competing against 60% overall now. We like that. We like that a lot. So that's a big key. When we're talking about picking different lineups and getting contrarian, that's why we get contrarian, right? We want to get someone who, what if this happens? Half the lobby is out. This contest is now like eliminated as a whole, like basically reduce everyone by half, and we're still alive. That's why you get contrarian, right? We're alive and we're unique too. So if we do finish first, we're not tying 40 ways. We're tying 2, 3, maybe even taking it down on our own. Who knows? Blood for the blood gods. always. DFS, we want blood. We're gonna talk about it too. We talk about LPL and LCK, but we want bloodshed, and the LPL is the epitome of that. So we'll talk about that in a second too. But we want teams that are gonna fight, and we'll talk about the stats we care about because of that too. But we'll keep on moving through this, right? The Friday's the second to last one, the last one of the slate, because the slates are only 4 games because we have one team play twice, so that doesn't count towards the slate, right? The last one on the slate was TSM Team Liquid. I didn't take Team Liquid. I took him a little bit, but I was kind of underweight him overall. I had him above Evil Geniuses, obviously, but below 100 Thieves and below Cloud9. They look good. They kind of bulldoze TSM. They in every facet of the way. Obviously, Team Liquid, this looks fantastic. They look like they're already clicking at all cylinders with 2 new players, which is the same that Cloud9 got. But the synergy looks there. I can't explain why, but I think I can actually. Alfari is great in lane. He doesn't really lose in lane. Santorin is Santorin. He's going to push these leads really well, and he didn't have to do much game 1, which is fantastic. If you can be a jungler and gank winning lanes, you love it. It's a good way to learn how to play your team. You're happy with it. And the final one we had was Immortals and FlyQuest. FlyQuest had to go 2-0 today, or on the Friday, in order to get into groups. They were previously 0-2. They didn't play a game on Sunday. They had to go 2-0. Beat Evil Geniuses. Awesome. You have to beat Immortals. Done. It is done, right? Immortals is a shell of their team right now. They played their Academy roster, I believe, on Friday. Didn't look very good, but it's Academy. It's not supposed to look great. Potluck, though. Keep an eye out for that name. Potluck looked fantastic. In fact, he's playing right now in the Academy as we speak. We'll talk about that because we're playing a little light Academy games today. So that's Friday, right? So we go through all the groups. Everyone plays a round robin. Top 4 from each group goes in. We know who the top 4 are now. What happened on Saturday? 100 Thieves and Immortals plays first. 100 Thieves blows him away. It's, again, Potluck looked good. I like Potluck. He looked solid. 100 Thieves is too good. They have the synergy. They have the skill. They're playing a weaker team. Like, it just doesn't work, right? 100 Thieves just rolled them. It wasn't even kind of close, and it was a game where if you were playing the DFS slate for just a 2-game slate, you better have been heavy to 100 Thieves because they've been bloodshed out. I'm not going to swear on this stream. I'm not that kind of person, but tons of bloodshed. So not much to say about that one. I like the Immortals team comp, but 100 Thieves is better. That's the problem, right? I think 100 Thieves had a great draft. Immortals drafted pretty well too, though. They weren't done with their drafts at all. But when you have 2 teams that both draft fairly well, it comes down to synergy and execution. And 100 Thieves has those in spades on both ends right now. There's a reason why they were one of the favorites coming into lock-in. It wasn't because we think they're going to be a top 2 team necessarily end the year. I think they might, but not a lot of people think so. But they do believe they have the synergy right now to take it down because this is what wins early season, right? Who knows how to play together? Second game on Saturday, Cloud9 TSM. Telling game. It's the only one that I think that was really close at all. TSM comes out, wins game 1. Okay, that's interesting, right? Huni looks fine. Parviva looks good. Speaker looks. Everyone looks fine. Solid play. They beat Cloud9. It was kind of touch and go for a while. It was a very kind of even match for the first game, right? A lot of back and forth, a lot of really good fights. Very similar to how Cloud9 lost to EG when they lost another game, right? It wasn't a stomp. It wasn't anything that you're like, oh, Cloud9's going to lose this. You were kind of going, it's a toss-up between who wins a big Baron fight. They have a Baron fight. TSM wins it. They roll them. Cloud9 takes game 2 and game 3. Wasn't even close. They put their foot on TSM's neck and they just stepped as hard as they possibly could. Perk still hasn't had any explosive games yet, but I think he's playing a role differently than he's used to playing, right? He's usually playing that carry role, and I think he will eventually, but I think right now he's just trying to get accustomed to the team. He'll let Blabber run the carry role. Fudge actually had a pretty hard carry game, and he'll let the bot lane run it too. Excuse me. I'm parched. But overall, Cloud9 looks better. Every game since they lost game 1, even game 1, they didn't look bad. They just lost, right? They didn't execute properly. But they played kind of memey team comps, I think, at first. I think the Yone was a bad pick in that team comp anyways when they lost EG. I think that TSM, Sharks was basically a good point, right? TSM had a really good opening game too. Threw it away. quickly too. They threw it away really fast. And Cloud9 is really good at when they get a lead, they're not going to give it up very easily. That's part of what the exposure was on Blabber and Cloud9 as a whole last year. Cloud9 starts off some ridiculous record, and we realize quickly if you can shut down Blabber in the beginning, they don't really get rolling. They steamroll and they don't lose after that. I don't think Perks is a carry role. I've always seen him as an enabler. I think as the ADC for G2 in Europe, I would agree with that. I think back when he was a mid laner, though, I think he was absolutely playing carry roles at times. I think he's comfortable doing kind of whatever's asked of him. But he hasn't had any like, oh my god, style on him kind of plays yet. And that's what I'm waiting for him to do because he has that capability even when he's not in a carry role. He has capability to come with Orianna, have a nuts flash Q R that hits 4 of them, and then E pop it back to you and go, right? So we haven't seen that yet, but hopefully soon. So those are that's the first 2 days. You have 100 Thieves and Cloud9 wins. Not any real surprises there. Fun fact, there really weren't surprises at all for the knockout stage because we come over to Evil Genius and the Golden Guardians. My thought is, if they take away Impact, maybe Nals can show why he's a good carrier, why he's in the pros right now out of a collegiate league, right? They don't take away Renekton. They try to counterpick it by going Quinn. It doesn't work. They get kind of rolled again. The first game looked kind of close. I can pull it up. I can't remember offhand what happened at the very beginning of it, but the first game for a second I was like, oh, they're kind of in this one. Yeah, the goal lead was not anything crazy right away. It got real bad really fast, and then the second game, I mean, Golden Guardians just got stomped. It was bound to happen. I think no one doubted that EG would win. I was hoping there'd be more of a fight. It wasn't very good. First of all, ban Renekton. Stop letting Renekton come through on Impact. Make him earn a win. Just ban Renekton. These are things that we shouldn't have to be saying still. It was like a few years back, Cassidy was always banned. He was just too good. He had these crazy power spikes, and everyone would ban him every single time. And then every now and then, someone wouldn't ban him on the red side. Why? He hits level 11, goes nuts. Yeah, that's gonna happen to you. Why would you do that? Boiler type, right? Yeah, just ban him. And I know you have people like LS have some really strong thoughts on Renekton not being very good, but just being able to get fed and win really easily. I think Renekton, as it stands with Gore Drinker, really strong. The ability to slice and dice in, stun somebody, Gore Drinker heal up, and then just keep on going to town on somebody. It's something that it's not worth your time. And I think it makes the red side really disadvantaged right now because you have to ban Renekton, you have to ban a few different junglers. Olaf, Pantheon, I haven't seen him get played yet. And then Taliyah's like a priority ban right now too. So it's like the numbers aren't adding up, right? And that's why I think when we talk upsets, we're thinking blue side a lot right now because I think that what's blue side's win percent? Well, FlyQuest upset from blue side again. So the blue side is definitely skewed again. Every upset so far has happened from the blue side. It's something that I think it's a priority ban thing at this point in time. I think we'll see it get balanced out as some champ balance changes happen. But also, I want to see Pantheon in LCS. I've seen him in LCK, I've seen him in LPL. He's good. He's not banned every time good, though. So I'm curious to see that. But let's get back to this. Let's roll up with the last game of the weekend. Team Liquid, FlyQuest. Can FlyQuest keep it rolling? Can they keep on going? Can Jose Dioto come in and rally them on defeat? No. Liquid wins. Team Liquid just wins. This is something that, again, shouldn't shock anybody. They are just the better team right now. They have the synergy needed. They have a bot lane that there's some really good bot lanes right now out there. It's hard to say anyone's going to be better than Tactical and Core JJ right now. They both just look so good. So good. They want to 2v2 you all day long in lane, and they will win. And it allows Santorin to say, I'm going to play through top, I'm going to play through mid. Especially because Alfari likes to push in his lanes, gives Santorin some interesting windows to counter gank things. I like it a lot. So, I'm really looking forward to seeing what's happened to them in the group stages. But, I mean, it was a stomp. So now let's go back. Let's look forward to next weekend. Again, we're not going to talk about who we want as far as DFS goes. I'm just going to give you kind of my thoughts on these things. Just so we have an idea for what we're looking at and lockout in general, right? Wrapping this stuff up. The first one is going to be 100 Thieves versus Cloud9. Ignore Sunday. I did not edit that text. It should be Friday. 100 Thieves, Cloud9, best of 5. This is going to be the one I'm really, really looking forward to because I think these two teams are very similar but different, if it makes sense at all. They're both really talented. 100 Thieves had that. They're all in sync together, right? They all are on the same page already. Cloud9 is building that up, but they have the individual talent there to beat 100 Thieves down. And I'm really curious to see what happens here. I'm really, really, really interested to see what's going on here. I think that they both have strong bot lanes right now. Really strong bot lanes. They both have great mid laners. Demonte's been arguably the biggest surprise. Well, probably not its biggest. Definitely number one. But Demonte's been looking great in mid lane. He's been nothing short of one of the best there are, right? Same as GME. Oh, it's been a long week. Let's not talk about that right now. It's been a very long week. I don't want to get people too hyped up here right now. More like Diamante. Yes, dude's been money. Been awesome. Yeah, don't. Yeah, exactly. Let's not do GME today. It's been a very hard week. Anyways, Diamante has been great. Some days doing his usual thing. Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. It's on everyone's mind. It's in the back of my head too. We just don't want, I'm trying to escape it for a couple hours if I can. Anyways, Sunday been great. Second best top laner in the league right now. Can he go? Can they win through Sunday over Fudge? I think so. I really do. I think that the junglers are fairly even. I think Closer is better throughout the game, where I think Blabber needs a lead to get going to begin with, right? And I want to see what Closer can do by playing through top lane and by forcing mistakes out of Blabber, because I think that the game plan is going to be the bottom lane. FBI and Huhi are going to kind of play more passive, make Blabber come down to them, and try to countergate them and expose that, right? Now, can you make Vulcan make a mistake? He hasn't yet, so we'll see what happens there. Mid lane, going to be pretty easy. It's going to be an incredible series. I really can't wait for this one. It's probably the one I'm looking forward to. Next to like 100 Thieves and Team Liquid like rematches, I think that'd be a great one too. And we'll get down to that too, because the next one is going to be Evil Genius Team Liquid. By the way, I have 100 Thieves winning in 5. I think that Cloud9 is going to take 2 in the middle, and then other than that, 100 Thieves will take the rest of the other 3. First, 4th, and 5th in my call here. Next one's Evil Geniuses and Team Liquid. This game can be really interesting. I can see Impact having a great series. I can see Jizuke just being out for blood on Jensen. I can see Deftly and Ignar looking great in the bot lane. I can see all those things, but not very often. I think Team Liquid rolls them. I think Evil Geniuses is not as good as they have looked. I think they've played weaker talent so far, and I think they'll get better because of that. I think they beat Cloud9 on Cloud9 having a meme draft in the first game. They've been back. I don't think it's going to happen again. I think Evil Genius is, I'm not going to say 3-0, but 3-1 probably. I think Team Liquid is going to beat them 3-1, I'm thinking. First of all, Ignar's crazy plays work a lot. They don't work on Core JJ. He's just better. So you have him already. Tactical is a better ADC than Deftly. You can't convince me otherwise right now, because Tacticals look great on every single stage he's been on so far. Jizuke is really aggressive. Jensen can outplay that aggression. He does it all the time, right? He can outplay them. I think everywhere they match up, they're just a little bit better. Centaur and Svenskeren is the only one I'd say is kind of a wash. I like Centaur more. I wouldn't blame you for saying you like Svenskeren more. But I think Alfari and Impact, I think Alfari takes it. They didn't let Impact go for no reason. They thought Alfari is an upgrade, because he is. He's going to shove that lane in. They're going to outdraft them, and hopefully take away Renekton. Alfari's going to shove that lane in, limit Impact to just farming under tower all day. They're going to come in for a gank. Centaur's going to counter gank it. It's going to be great. Can't wait to see it. I think Team Liquid's going to roll them, and I think that Team Liquid and 100 Thieves meet in the finals, which was my call from the beginning. I still believe that. Nothing's changed my mind on that. I think Team Liquid wins in the finals too. We won't talk until then because it's Sunday. But I think Team Liquid versus 100 Thieves, and Team Liquid takes it. But I think that's going to be a close match too if that happens. So there's our recap of what's happened and what's happening in the lockout. We're good. Now, what I want to look forward to a bit more is what's going on in the future, right? What are we looking at here? What do we learn from this stuff? So the first thing we learned was that Evil Geniuses are probably better than we thought they were. We had them at the 5th ranked team, but we had them a decent amount below TSM. I'm starting to think that they're closer to TSM, probably above TSM for now, but I do think TSM will end up in the 4th spot again at the end of the year. The biggest thing for TSM is that their playstyles are too different. PoE wants to farm. He wants to farm up a lot early game. He wants to fight in the team fights, and that's not how TSM has been behaving in the top lane or the jungle. Whereas Speak and Huni want to get involved. Lost had good games, not great games, but I think part of the problem again there is he doesn't have that solo ability to be a weak side bot laner, so Sword can then roam around. Sword had Huanfeng last year. Great ADC. It allowed Sword to go around the map and help everybody else out. He doesn't have that right now. I think he feels he has to kind of babysit Lost, and it puts him in awkward positions, and he dies a lot. So there's to get that going a bit more. 100 Thieves, outperforming right now. Do I have them 1-2? Probably still not, no. I still think they're number 3, but I think they look good, and they have a lot of bloodshed. So they're probably my number 1 pick for daily fantasy purposes, right? They fight. They fight a lot, and we love to see it. They're the team that, like, if they're looking like a over 50% chance to win, I'm going to be leaning on them a lot this year. They are very much like, if we talk about NFL fantasy and all that, they're very much that team that runs the score, right? They're the Seahawks in the year, where win or loss, it's going to be 40-40, right? Who cares? 41-40, let's say. We need to have no ties. But it's going to be high scoring, and that's what you want either way. I think even in their only loss, they were still a top-performing team. They lost to CLG, probably shouldn't have, but whatever. They continue to be a great team. Team Liquid, fighting more than usual. They're not a 20-kill-a-game team usually. Usually they just systematically break you down. Lane, push, Dragon, Baron, go. They're fighting right now, and they're doing good at it too. Cloud9, they're playing through bot lane. That's been really interesting. I think if you're looking to stack a Cloud9 stack, starting off the bot lane in the jungle, always a good pick. And that leads us to another part too, which we'll get to in a second too, actually. But FlyQuest looks good. Golden Garden shows promise there. And it's hard to say how Immortals are going to look. It's hard to say how CLG is going to look because they don't have their team yet, right? I really hope that when Finn and Broxy get here, the teams look a bit more steady. They can show some more promise. Because I think CLG is better than we believe they are. I think early in the year I had maybe the 8 seed. I can see them being closer to a 5 or 6 right now. It's very tough, but we got to see the full team and see some synergy happening from them. But EG, also one more thing about EG. Peter Dunn. Dude's been a great coach so far. He's obviously those drafts are better. Sets everyone up for success. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over and say, what are we doing when we're building these lineups, right? What's happening here? And what we'll do is see my screen here. And we have DraftKings up right now. Hey, look at that. We're in 2nd place right now. Oh, we finished off 2nd place in Academy. Tendies. Everyone say we like Tendies. It's a little light play, right? $3 entry, 118. Can't complain about that, right? 6-time profit. We're okay with that. But yeah, that's a good one too. But when building these lineups, I want to talk about this and say where we start with, right? We love Tendies. We love Tendies. The real Squonk. I don't know who that is, but I love the username. We all love Tendies here. But the one thing you'll notice is when I'm building these lineups up, if you're a Patreon subscriber and I post these in the Discord or someone who I've talked to a lot about DFS before, I used to start off primarily with mid lane or ADC. They always got the most points. That's changed for me recently, really starting in Worlds. And it started actually because Canyon on Damwon Gaming, where I ran him a lot as captain. I'm like, this feels really good. And we realized more that the junglers are really commanding a lot of presence in League of Legends right now, the current patches. And I think that captains should be ADCs, junglers. Mid's not a bad choice, but I really don't believe that we should be looking top lane or support. Obviously not support, but although we'll talk about that in a second too, because there are some situations where it might make sense. So let's just talk about how we build a lineup up, right? And how we choose a selection of where we want to go. So let's go here. We're gonna go ahead and join an LPL LCK, like we said we're going to do. It's a 4-game. Jungle's like Shaq and the Lopos. I mean, basically, right? Like, but the problem is, they can put a patch out there and say there's no more shots in the paint allowed, and suddenly Shaq's useless, right? So we'll see what happens. But we're gonna go ahead and build. Let's build a lineup for. I like the single entry ones a lot, and I like the prize pool here. It's 237 people, $5. I don't want to play anything crazy. I like to go more into LCS, so I like to use these for kind of bankroll building. I usually don't join things that are lotto picks like this, especially in a 4-game slate. This is 10th to first. This is great. It's 40,000 overall prize, 3,100 people, and the max entries here are 94. I'm not entering 94 times. I'm not taking lotto picks. I want something that's going to consistently win me something. So I'm not going to go with that one. That's going to be one where you want to go with a 4-2-1 kind of stack because you want to be a little bit different. That's where support actually can make an argument for a captain. I still don't like it, but I've seen supports take that down. So we're going to go here and say, I like to solo fight, $1,000, single entry, which is great for me. It pays out top 55. I like that. You double your money for top 55. So, top 22%. So we're going to go ahead and draft this team here. And we're not going to build it right now. We're going to see these prices. We're going to also go to probably what I think is my favorite tool as far as where I get my content from and where I kind of figure out what lineups I'm running, especially with multiple lineups here. There's a great site called the Esports Department. It's a paid subscription, but I think it's absolutely worth it, especially if you're a gambler and you like to bet on the games itself too. I don't do that a ton anymore, but I mean, they're exciting too. And I think actually you can make an argument that if you're a big gambler, esports is the best place to bet because the lines are really soft. People don't quite get it. It's not like NFL where these lines are adjusted to the point. These things are a little soft sometimes. I think is a good way to start. But they have projections. They have like awesome models for each league. They have DFS analysis they'll go over here. And they'll cover LCK and LPL for each night. John George is one of the co-owners of it. Really smart guy. He streams a lot, both building his lineups, but also is playing poker, things like that. Really bright guy. I'd definitely say he's someone I would keep an eye out for, whatever you're looking for, kind of how some things you want to run here. Betting analysis also really solid. And betting analysis is really helpful too when you're talking about who do I want to pick as a team. It's who are the favorites here, right? What are the lines here? So if you're ever wondering who's supposed to be the favorite, check that out if you need some help. But the biggest thing I like here is the optimizer. I'll click in here. So it'll take us to Fantasy Labs through Esports Department, sorry. And what it does is it brings up all the players I like, or not all I like, all players, period. I'll adjust, make sure we're playing for tomorrow's LCK LPL split. And we'll basically come here and we'll optimize our teams. So say we want 10 teams, and I'm just going to kind of screw around here a little bit. I want 10 teams. I have a little thing here where I have my 4-3 stacks. I want the minimum salary cap to be 80%, and I want my captain to be paired with at least 3 other people. From there, I want to sit here and say, who do I want my teams to be? Who do I want my stacks here as? And I look at this, and this is the most important thing I think when building a stack, right? Don't just build a random 4-3 stack. Build something you think's going to win. And I look at this and I go, okay, this is really interesting. RNG versus WE. I know WE is the favorite here. I like RNG a lot. I think Crying's really good. I think they have a great jungler. I like them a lot. I think if we're going to try to get different, and this is a great lineup to get different in, I like RNG. Damwon, HLE. Again, Damwon's going to be a favorite. HLE, by the way, pause here. Go watch HLE. Go watch Chovy perform last week against Gen G. It was the single best without Uzi. Yeah, I mean, I still think they're a great team. They're a top 5 team LPL still. WE and RNG are probably 2 of the top 5 teams, and they both look really good. But yes, Chovy's Akali. Chovy's everything was just on point there. Even when they lost the game, it wasn't because of Chovy. He put his try-hard pants on. It was one of the most dominant wins I've ever seen, and from a single person. I definitely would suggest if you want to see what a 1v9 actually looks like, and one person just takes the game over and says, I'm going to win this game for us, go watch HLE versus Gen G. Chovy is incredible, and we have faith in Chovy. We're gonna bet on him again. And then I kind of want to avoid this game here, mainly because we're only taking HLE because we know we can't get a full stack of LPL probably. Maybe we can, probably not. And LPL fights more. So we tend to lean on the LPL more than anything here. So we're going to start off and just do 2 LPL games and 1 LCK. They don't fight as much in LCK, so they're going to systematically win, yeah, but they're not going to win with 25 kills. They're going to win with 5 kills. market cap hit. Yeah, if there's things where we have our 50K salary, we might not be able to build an RNG and LNG game, right? We're gonna try it because that's who I like here too. I think LNG is surprisingly good this year. Um, I think there can be an upset in one of these games, maybe both of them. There's been a lot of upsets in LPL so far, but I do think LNG ends up being E-Star. So we're going to do our 4 stack there and add a 3 stack also with the same teams. And this is where we start, right? So now we come through here. We're going to go with a player pool, and I'm going to go and just filter these out so I don't have to see all these things. So I'm not worried about them right now. And I'm going to look at my captain first. I'm going to say who I don't want. Obviously, if you don't start, I don't want you here, right? That should go without saying. I don't want you considered at all. Next thing is, like I said, I like jungles and ADCs. I think they should be the primary people you're keeping. So we're getting rid of the teams. We're getting... Why do I only see 3 teams here? Am I missing one? No, I picked 3. I picked 3 teams. Ignore me. We're going to get rid of the tops, the supports. We're going to get rid of some of the... So let's kind of look at this. We want Light, Gala, Deft. I just want Cryin and Chovy probably here. I don't want Icon, I don't think, in this mix. And then I want Tarzan, Wei, and Arthur. I think I actually unchecked Arthur on accident. No, I didn't. So we're going to look at this, and we're going to say, I don't want Icon. I want Light, Gala, Deft, Gala, Deft. Cryin and Chovy are the only mid laners I want. Tarzan, Wei, and Arthur. Those are who I want as my captains, right? I don't want anything else there, even if it means I can stack 2 better teams, because I just want the points, right? Like, these are all projections of points in a win, by the way. So that's why these numbers are so high, because we're projecting what happens when they win. And you'll see right here, the cap of a top laner, even in a win, we're talking 120. These ADCs are talking 130, 140 caps, right? Not that I don't think Icon's great, but I think that if a mid laner is going to be the top scorer, it's going to be Cryin or Chovy, because they just have carry pants. Go ahead and just get rid of these. It almost never actually considers these, but just to be safe, we're going to go ahead. Oh, I just checked them. I've seen 180 plus several times. Yeah, and who scores 180 plus, right? ADCs, junglers, right? It's maybe mid laner, maybe. Chovy probably had a one close to that, but it's not very likely. So we don't even want to consider those. And now here's what's the great part, right? We go to the optimizer. We have our player pool, and we can adjust our exposure. And maybe we will a little bit too. Maybe we'll say, look, I want Icon on a maximum of 25% of my lineups, but I want Cryin and Chovy at a max of 50%. And maybe I actually want to make sure I have 10% of each. And that might be too limiting. So we'll see what happens here. We'll generate 10 lineups. See what we get. Do we get anything? We do. Great. We got a little hit here. So we got all 10. And it's going to optimize what is the maximum points that you can get out of projections with the stacks you have, with the rules you have. And this is where we start, right? So I look at this and I go, great, I got my 10 lineups, but the first thing you're going to notice is there's a ton of Light here, right? And I'm like to adjust this. Like, I like Light, I do, but I don't want him in more than 20% of my lineups. I don't think I want Mikuya in more than, let's say, 40% of our lineups. And I really love Wei. I want to put him in a minimum of 10. I'd like to have him as captain, so I don't want to do too much here. I'm just going to save this and regenerate it, right? And play around with a few different lineups we can get here, right? This is looking something like more what I want to see here. I see the Deft. My eye goes to this immediately, right? I love Deft. I think Deft's a great player. Gala's great too, but I really, really, really like Deft. I think he's a fantastic player. We're going to look at this, and we're going to... Actually, we're pretty okay with these lineups, honestly. I would like to get a bit more flexibility out here, so I like to see... what else we can do here. And what you'll see is I'll start limiting down the lineups for optimizing. I like to use this to kind of get a feel for what we're looking at here each time. And then we'll keep on adjusting from there and figure out, okay, now we're getting more in what I'm hoping to get out of this, right? Now I have some Tarzan, I have some Cryin. I like those a lot too. I have Wei. I love Wei as a captain. I'd like to make sure that I have some different options with him. And we'll check out some different options with Tarzan too, actually. I'd like to see what Tarzan can get us in a captain spot. And we're going to limit this down to 5 now. I'm starting to get what I want to see. I'm going to see what can I do now if I'm limiting my scope a bit more here. Again, This is what I'm looking for. I have a good amount of exposure here. I would like to have a deft one. Did I not put deft at a 10%? I might have not. And let me back it up really fast and make sure that I do. Because I would like to see an option for deft. We're only going to build one lineup here, obviously. But, you know, I build more than one. I always build a few. You want to make sure that you're getting some good exposure. Don't, they call this running a train when they say you enter the same lineup like 100 times in a match. Don't do that. It's stupid. Because, yeah, if you hit it, you just capitalize a ton. You made a ton of money, right? But you're limiting your options on trying to get into the cash, and you're really going to hurt yourself doing that. So now we're looking at this, and I say, this is great, right? I have a way lineup, I have a Gala, I have a Deft. I like the stack here. I like the double LPL stack a lot. Actually, we have 3 double LPL stacks I like a lot. And I'm going to say, yeah, diversification is key, right? I want to make sure that I'm not too overweight on anything. So if there is an upset, because RNG is an underdog right now, I don't want to add too much weight to them. I want to get some more options out here. This is technically the chalkiest we get right here when we talk about LNG and HLE. And even still, HLE is an underdog, right? In a real lineup, if we're trying to for a double up league, we're taking chalk, right? We're gonna go with an LNG and a Africa Freaks probably, but we're not. We're trying to take first here, so we're gonna get a bit different with this lineup. And we go, great. These lineups all feel really good. I do like the idea of having a deft lineup. I like the idea of having a way lineup a lot. And I look at this more and I go, these are the two I'm really looking between right now. They both are good amount of salary, but not maxing, which is nice. They both have a projection and a win, a little over 600, right? Obviously, this is the number 1 projection in a win. And I like it a lot because we capitalize on double ADCs and way, and it's LPL stacks. And that's actually a really good point, too, because Damwon plays a really, really solid game. They might not win, and they've actually lost a lot this year so far, but they haven't lost by giving up tons of kills. T1 had one game they got a ton of kills, but overall, they fight it pretty hard. So I lean more towards this one, not only just because it's number 1 in overall projected points, so because it's double LPL, I get both ADCs, which I really love, and I get Wei, who I like to be overweight on. The argument here is I get Cryan instead of Icon, which I like again. I still get the double ADC, so I still get Way out of this too, and I get LNG as my team instead. That's a big key because the teams you want that bonus for. If you win 2-0 in a best of 3, the players get a 20-point bonus. The teams will get a 15-point bonus. Players can score more than 20 points in a game, even in a loss, right? Teams in a loss won't score 20 points. So I like this lineup a lot here. And this we're going to build, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll show you how we tag these. I'm just going to tag this and save it over. I'm going to delete the other 4 right now because I don't want to screw up anything. But go ahead and we'll delete these and say, here's a one lineup we really feel comfortable with. And we like this lineup. This feels good. If we hit this underdog hit, double LPL, we feel great about this lineup here. We're going to download this. We can download it straight, so we put it right into DraftKings. So we can upload here if we want, or you just go to lineups and hit upload lineup, CSV, and there you go. Lines loads it up right for you. We go in our lobby. Sorry, we already entered the contest, didn't we? So we'll go to our contest, go to upcoming. By the way, love seeing the second place again. Would have been nice to get first, but love the second place. Get those tendies. Light tendies, but tendies nonetheless. Did we not join it? Maybe it's queued it up. No big deal. So we'll go back to it, and we are looking at the 1,000 prize pool single entry with 237. We like this a lot. It fits all the checkbox I'm looking for. I want something that I'm going to be able to win some decent money in. I want a decent player pool, but nothing too crazy. It pays out a good percent, and it pays double for the top 22%. So we're going to go ahead and join this one. Why is it not? There it is. Pulls the lineup up for us. We're looking good. We're going to enter this now. And I'll make sure that I keep on posting what we look like in the Discord and on Twitter. So here's my plug time. If you are not following on Twitter and you are not in our Discord, come on. Help me out. We like having people here. Me and Sharkness were chatting about some stuff during the LCS on Sunday or Saturday, whatever it was. I'm in it, right? I'm in it. I'm talking about it. I love talking about it. So join. We can put it. We have the Twitter account right at the bottom of the screen here. We have. Let's see if this works. I have not used this yet, but does this work? Boo. I'll go ahead and I'll post a Discord link here. This is real embarrassing, guys. I'm very, very embarrassed right now. So let's go up. We're going to post this here. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to get this thing working. Join the Discord. It'd be great. But what we'll do now, and I won't keep you guys too bored at all. Hopefully you guys see kind of what I'm thinking about when I'm picking my teams now. But now we're talking about some more games here, right? LPL and LCK is a bit easier because LPL just naturally fights more. But what about we're talking about just LCK? By the way, love of all the attendees in here. With the pound from Sharks, love it. The last thing I want to talk about is what we're looking for when we're building a lineup. How do we pick the teams we picked, right? LCK chain is yeah. Also, I'm not up at that time in the morning, right? They don't lock their lineups in the LCK. LPL does. They just announce them really early so we know who's starting. LPL or LCK, they'll change it, and it drives me crazy. We've had multiple times where we run T1 and we can't pick a mid laner because they swap it too often. We had I think we had Teddy week 1 too, and they picked a better ADC. I didn't know he was better. I didn't know he was going to play. So we missed out on Tendies because we had no ADC there, and we finished off with like still 500 and something points. Like it was that's another story. Anyways, we talk about the LCS. What are we looking for here? And I have my little spreadsheets here. We'll go through it. And the big keys what I want to come into is let's go ahead and add them all, right? This is all this is the overall points they get. That's great. But it doesn't tell you what you need because it doesn't tell you what happens when they are losing, right? Or winning. We don't know, right? We're picking winners here. I'm not picking a team to lose. How dare we sleep at 3 a.m.? I have a child. I don't sleep at 3 a.m., but I don't wake up at 2. If he goes to bed till 3, it's a good night for me. But we see these points here. But we go, what? That doesn't mean anything for a win or a loss. This just tells me how many points they score on average. I pick winners. I'm not picking a team that thinks going to lose. That's a dumb idea. It only works when you pick 100 Thieves and they go to however many 26 kills against CLG and lose. But usually, don't do that. What we want to see is what do they do in wins? What do they do in losses? And what you'll see here in losses, shocker, 100 Thieves is way up there because they only lost once and they lost CLG and had a ton. But primarily, I want to see what are they doing in wins here. I'll sit here and I'll sort this. I'll say, great. In wins, Immortals looks great. This is awesome. Potluck, we talked about it before. Potluck's awesome. Keith had an unusually good game. Unusually good. But this is what we're looking at, right? It's all about the end wins. And in particular, when we narrow down and say, how do we know which players we're looking for in wins? We want the teams in wins. How many kills are they getting in a win here? Or there's a loss. Whoops. Let's go. How many teams kills in a win here? Let's try it again. How many getting in a win? Looks like 100 Thieves, Cloud9, CLG. CLG's killing a lot right now. Oh yeah, they only have one win. That's right. They have one win, like we talked about already, and it was quite a bloodshed there. So we'll go ahead and sort this and just take a look. CLG has a ton of kills in a win, Immortals. But here's where I think it's really interesting, right? Both Team Liquid and EG have 20 kills on average in a win. Small sample size, but this is what I look at and go, oh, that's really interesting to me. 100 Thieves has 18. Still interesting, not as interesting. TSM in 3 wins has 16 kills to get a win. I don't want that, right? I don't want you to have max at 16 on a win. I get this is only a 2-kill difference, but that makes a difference, right? If those 2 kills are a kill and 3 assists for your team, that's 9 points for the kill, and that's 6 points for the 6 points for the assist, right? That's a 15-point swing right there. That matters. That's for just one each kill, right? So then 16 times 2, 32. That's the difference between first place and maybe even out of the money. Who knows in certain games, right? So we like these up here. This is obviously a small sample size. This will adjust, but we also want to see who are they playing, and the teams are playing. How often are they losing here? So we'll go ahead and add this filter here too, and we'll see how many times are they dying in a loss. 100 Thieves, again, small sample size. It was 1 loss, but still, makes them pretty safe bet, huh? They get a lot of kills in a win, get a lot of kills in a loss. It's nice for us. Cloud9, same thing. 20 kills in wins, 19 kills in or 11 kills in losses. Obviously, you're not aiming for losses, but it's something good to know. The other big key here, how many times will they die to their opponent in a loss? This is going to be a really key metric. you'll see Dignitas, 22 deaths per loss. We said earlier, I was really heavy on Cloud9 last week on the Friday slate. This is why they played Dignitas. I thought, great. Cloud9 kills a lot, Dignitas dies a lot. This is a perfect match for us to pair him with 100 Thieves for our nice like single entries and our nice double ups, and good pairing for FlyQuest for our upsets. We cashed them both. We could have done a lot better but this is how we think about this, right? We wanted more kills in that game than it happened. I obviously want to avoid people who are playing as evil geniuses, because when they lose, they only die 14 times. Again, one time. We'll let the sample sizes grow. But this is how we should be thinking about these things, right? So then when I identify this, I can say, what are the implied kills here? And I'll put 100 Thieves versus Cloud9. If 100 Thieves wins, there's 19 implied kills. But if Cloud9 wins, there's 23 implied kills. Small sample size, skewed by 100 Thieves losing. But that stands out to me. I go, okay, great. Say this is week 10. I want a Cloud9 team. I want to build a Cloud9 team 100%. So we'll go here and we'll say, let's filter by Cloud9. Not Cloud9. Let's try it again. Boom. Cloud9. And we'll say, wow, we're getting a... ignore those. We're getting a... Why are they showing up there? We'll work about later. Blabber, Fudge, Perks, things like that, right? I look at Blabber with 33 points. This is fantastic. This is who I really would like to be up here. And that's where we start from building those teams. Then we go over to this optimizers, and we figure out who do we want in our player pool. Not just by the projections, but by who they're playing and their history in wins, right? So that's kind of the overall breadth of what we have here. If you're looking for more data on kills per win and deaths per loss, Oracle's Elixir is great. Also, going back, let's go back to this part of the tool, the esports department. They have a great portion here about the model. When you click it, it'll actually tell you when you're picking teams. This is really important too. What is our correlation on these things too? Obviously, this is summer, right? So what's this thing come through a bit more an update for the season? But I like to see what's our correlation with first how many times we get first tower, how many times they get first blood. What's our correlation with a win here, right? A Baron percent and the win percent are correlated 93%. Great. So I'm going to go here and say immediately, who has the highest Baron percent? 88.9%, TL. Boom. TL's on a stack here. That's our team, and they're done. So this is how you use the stats to make sure you're winning money. And again, obviously we didn't enter anything crazy today in the academy. I don't know the academy terribly well, but we entered just a little light play just so I can kind of show it off for today. And look at that, we won, which is great. That won, but we won cash. We finished. We finished 0.08 out of first place. That hurts. It's 1 point per 50 creeps. So is that 0.1 per 5 creeps? Is that like fucking 4 creeps? We lost by 4 creeps. That's... These are sometimes the worst losses. Like, I'm happy I made money, and this is great. Like, we're going to take the $18 on a $3 entry, right? Like, if I give you $3, you give me 18 back. Why would I ever complain about that? But, my God, to lose by 4 creeps is brutal. Ryoma. Not Ryoma, because he is a captain there. Who did I have? Potluck. Why didn't you just clear one more wave out? One more wave! But either way, we're talking $25, right? LCS, where we get a lot more involved. We'll do the large lotto tickets with the 4-2-1 stacks. We'll do more of the 4-3 stacks in our single entries and our 3 maxes. Maybe a few lighter ones that are like 20 max there might be. But make sure you're maxing your entries too. That's a big key that's super underrated. I think a lot of people, they'll take a 20 max and they'll put 5 in there. If you have the cash for it, max it out. Make sure that you're spreading your options as much as possible, because first place is going to outweigh 20 entries in that thing, right? So if the daily dollars, I think it's $100 at first. $20 to enter. If you're taking first, use 5x. Even if all 19 other ones finish out of the cash, which probably won't happen, take first. It's $100. You 5x everything, right? So make sure you're maximizing what you got in there. Obviously, the 20k to first and everything, harder to max. They're just insane maxes. But the one thing you should be really excited for is we're pumping these numbers up. These are really exciting to see. The 10K to first LECs, the 10K to first LCK, LPLs. We've had some really big money pools in these lottos, right? That means people are playing. This is exciting. Get involved in this. So please get involved. This weekend, that whole LCS play. Next week, by the way, we're streaming on a Wednesday next week. Reason being, I actually had a previous commitment from months and months ago that starts on Thursday. I feel really bad, but luckily we haven't had salaries yet for LCS by the time we're doing this at all yet this year, so it's not a huge deal. But come back on Wednesday, right? Join Wednesday. Let's find out how we're gonna do this thing. Week 1 regular season. This is exciting. These prize pools are getting bigger and bigger. $40,000 prize pool for LPL, LCK. What is LEC at right now? Overall, $30,000 prize pool overall. People are playing. Get involved. Win some money. Right? Let's win this together. If you like watching League of Legends, put some skin in the game. You know more than you probably think you do. And this is kind of some breakdowns on things you can consider when you're building a lineup. You have the intrinsic knowledge already. Use this information to optimize that intrinsic knowledge. If you're a big DFS guy, here's how you stack out League of Legends DFS, right? Put some skin in the game. Go watch it. It's entertaining as hell, man. For last year, I think it was the first time video games outpaced movies and sports in monetary, right? It was COVID. It makes a little bit of sense, but this is catching on more and more every day. It's 11 years League of Legends now. It's going to be going a really long way for a long time. Please get involved. Let's win some money together. Let's have some fun together. If you haven't already, I asked you this earlier. It's already in the chat. If you haven't already, follow us on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Join the Discord, right? Subscribe on YouTube. If you miss these things, come back on YouTube. I use YouTube myself as a nice little cheat sheet. When I come back to it, I'm building my lineups on Friday morning. I go back to my own video and I scrub. And I try to make sure, okay, who do I want to stack here? That makes sense. I like my thought process there. Because previous Mark, smarter than present day Mark usually. But get involved in that. Subscribe to YouTube. Follow us on Twitch. If you're watching this, you're not following us on Twitch, come on. Find out. We have 9 viewers right now. Let's build those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. Let's pump those up. Let's make sure we get this thing going. It's going to be a long season. We're here for the long haul. We're here to make some good money, watch some good League of Legends, and talk about it with our friends, right? Subscribe on YouTube. Join on Twitch. Join the Discord. Follow on Twitter. Let's have some good conversations going. I think we covered all the questions here. Rewatch on the elliptical. Yeah, there you go. Rewatch on the elliptical. That's the best way to watch, right? That's where I get most of my content. I watch a lot of content on League of Legends, on DFS, on Top Shots because I'm degenerate, and I do it on the bike. Got the bike prop position. I'll show you this really fast. Got the bike right there. Throw my phone on there. Join a conference call that I'm not paying attention to anyways, and I watch some content. So absolutely do it. I think I addressed all the questions here. If any other questions, ping me on Discord, right? Reach out to me on Twitch or Twitter. I'm available, right? I love talking about this. This is why I do this. I enjoy it. So, baller idea, do the stream on elliptical. No. No one pays attention on conference calls. That's why I join them when I'm watching these things. But yeah, I appreciate everyone joining here. 10 viewers, if I had one here, I'm happy. I like talking about this stuff. I'm happy that you guys are joining and enjoying this. Hopefully you're enjoying this. Hopefully you are learning something and get more involved. 11. Great. Pumping those numbers up, the rookie numbers. I love it. But join us because also, and by the way, I didn't give myself enough credit here. I called FlyQuest. Come on. I called EG's only loss to the lock-in so far. Give me some credit here. They lost to an not undefeated, underwind team. I called that. You heard it first. Robin Hood says you can't. We're not, no. This is a happy place today. Happy place. The happy place. I'm not going to look at my stocks when I get off it or anything. We're not doing it. Happy place. Watch League of Legends. Get some involved in DFS. Love me more. And we've been on for an hour. That's impressive. I thought this was going to be more of a shorter stream because we weren't covering any down ons. Hopefully, I didn't ramble too much. You guys just didn't care at all. Hopefully, you learned something good. Again, next week is Wednesday is going to be our stream, right? not Thursday, but Wednesday. It's going to be a good stream. We're going to have a lot to cover. I'm so excited for the slate. The first game of the year, of the real season where things matter, right? I cannot wait. I'm pumped. Also, join some LPL CK. See how you do, right? We'll see how we did. Maybe we'll end up winning some good money. Maybe we won't. Who knows? It's part of the risk, especially with one lineup. But see how it goes. Um, that's all I had today, guys. If you have any questions, reach out to me. In the meantime, I'm looking forward to talking Wednesday. Hopefully everything goes well for you. Be safe. Well, especially we're talking about. I've seen some of the Robinhood chats. All that. Just be safe, right? Things are a little weird right now. Things are very nerve wracking. Hopefully you can relax for a second and just not think about it. Um, appreciate it. Thanks so much. Bye.